Doo-ba-doo-boo-boo. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Daffy. Hello, Daffy. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. We have quite a bit to go over today. Something that just, oh God, came across my desk, and we'll get to that later. We'll talk about, I feel like we're in Captain America Civil War, where Zemo goes in and is talking to Bucky. He's like, so many tragedies we have, and then he's like, we have to discuss, but we only have to talk about one. And then he goes and he reads from the book and he says, and he reads like 17 words in Russian that triggers Bucky into becoming the Winter Soldier. Anyway, let's go over with the OMI. We had a fantastic start of the day today. We were up about 30% at one point. We had a really, really big buy order, pushing us about 30% on OKX. Guys, there's only about 4.5 billion tokens on OKX, so it's a very, very small amount, especially compared to what was on Bitforex. I guess before I do go any further, David was on Metamona's channel. So you had him and someone from Cryptoys, and I think someone from Pudgy Penguin was supposed to come in, but they had somebody coming in. They were supposed to have Pudgy Penguins, but he was flying into Denver ETH. I actually have a couple buddies of mine that are at that as well. I'll have some Spark notes for you guys after that's over. But anyway, she had said like, "Hey, David, we just felt we had to ask, what's going on with Bitforex? For the people that haven't heard, what's the story? What's the update?" And even though Okomi has given 2 updates already, it seems like a lot of people just aren't paying attention. A lot of people are just kind of like waiting for someone to spoon feed it to them, not going on socials. But anyway, David just said, listen, there is no official update from Bitforex. Bitforex hasn't officially gone on and said anything. So up until they do, we can't just pull questions out of our butt. He didn't say that, but he just said, up until we do, there's really nothing we can say. But we can hope that we have a big, a big rally as far as like people taking care of each other, and eventually when they do, we'll go on the appropriate platforms and we'll let people know what the official situation is. But yeah, that was really it. So people that were expecting a huge, like, oh, is this where we're going to get it? Again, officially, there's been no update from Bitforex. So again, I'll keep you posted. Okay, copy that. All right, copy that. All right. It's yeah. I'm live now. I don't need to. Hang on one second. Job with. Okay. So Metamona that had just interviewed David, she is going to come on my show at some point. I don't know when. I've been trying for a couple. I'm very curious because she is a strong, independent woman that asks a lot of tough, hard questions. I'm surprised she got David to go on her show twice. But anyway, I'm really curious to get to know her like as a person. Obviously, what we kind of see there, may or may not be a character. It may just be her innate want to get to the bottom of things and to the truth. But I'm really curious to go get her on and just be like, hey, what are you about, son? What are you like? Tell us, what ails you? What are your hopes and dreams? Anyway, I'll let you guys know when that happens. Yeah, meow, meow, meow. I'm giving them the smiley face. Okay, cool beans. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah. So anyway, she was also asking him. I'll get to that later. We'll go over the OMI real quick. So OMI, despite being up about 30% this morning, has dropped a little bit to where we're only up about 15%. So dare I say that it's not as good as it could be, but it's still pretty nice. We are at the 00094. Everyone's saying it's Randy and his orcas, the whales, and be advised, guys, this is just the beginning. This little pump that we had today, which is great. I love that type of stuff. I wish they would kind of hold on for another couple weeks because it's in that next 2 to 3 weeks that I'll get a little bit of money and I'll be able to go pretty hard at it. But guys, I'm letting you know now, when I get my money in mid to late March, I'm likely going to be buying at the 002 levels. Like it's not something that I'm hoping that's down here. It's something that I'm likely to be buying at those levels. I'd give it another 8 to 10 days when we're out of these levels, out of the triple zeros forever, and then we're gonna skip right past the 001s, and by mid to late March, we will blow right past the 001s, get into the 002, 003 range, and that'll just be where new people come in. Oh, cool. 2/10 of a penny, 3/10 of a penny, and then they'll go in and they'll buy at those levels. So yeah. Anywho, moving on here. Let's see how it compared to the rest of the market has been ripping the past couple days. Bitcoin, even though only at 61 right now, has up about 19% over the last 7 days, which is heckin' wild. And again, this is yesterday. It was yesterday, 2 days ago. You had 10,500 Bitcoin that were bought from Bitcoin ETFs, and there was only 900 Bitcoins that were mined from all of these miners that are going around. And again, in the continental US, 2% of the entire electric grid, 2% of all of the electricity that the US produces goes to mining Bitcoin. And that 900 Bitcoin that they had produced yesterday or two days ago, however much it was, that is going to be cut in half. That will get a 50% haircut in the next 2 months. Because again, in late April, you are going to see, I'd say 7 weeks, give or take, you are going to see that halving happens. So you're not going to get 900 Bitcoin per day in new circulation. You're going to get about 450 per day. And just again, we literally crashed that Coinbase website yesterday, which is heckin' wild. Everyone had a heckin' heart attack. They were doing a heckin' concern. But yeah, that's just Bitcoin. This is just the Bitcoin ETFs. The Ethereum ETFs will be approved in May, and then let's say late Q2, early Q3. That's when they go and they really take off. But how much of this is going into OMI? Again, I don't know. I do have a couple of conversations I have, or it's one big one. It was on the Akomi Discord. I really want to go and talk about it just because I feel like information should be free. And when I go, oh shoot, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, here we go. I was on the crypto chat. This is going to be a heckin' long one. It's going to be wild. Oh, my message could not be loaded. I don't know why. Saying I was delusional about something. Let's see what it was. Okay, here it is. I say, so somebody says, I'm being realistic here. Your numbers seem incredibly generous. If we had no competition like it was back in the day, then I could possibly see that, but that's not the case. Maybe for alt season, but I think you need to consider all of the external factors. And what I'm talking about is the volume. Like right now we have what, let's check this out, how much volume we have for the day on OMI. I guarantee you it's less than 2 million. I guarantee you the volume is 1.5 maybe. 1.285, so it's even less than I thought it would be. When you have not an exchange, liquidity for the token is going to be great. Exchanges for the token, whatever we get at some point, KuCoin, Kraken, it looks like we're going to get BitGet at some point. That's fine, but it's really going to be about demand, and the demand for this will be okay. OMI to NFT. I don't know when we get an article about that, but the OMI to bronze tickets, we'll get an article about that in like 4 weeks. Because again, when season 2 happens on April 1st, you have OMI to bronze tickets. You're able to use bronze tickets. Okay, so you're going to have to give the information of what that is before that comes out. They're not going to roll it out and then 3 days later go and roll out the Medium article. They're going to roll the Medium article first, and then we'll know what to do. But again, that's just one thing. There's 2 of them: OMI to NFT, then OMI to bronze tickets, then obviously bronze tickets to MCP, and then MCP all the way to accessories. I'm not sure when we see that. David was pretty. He talked about Veveverse and AI and phase 2 and phase 3, which again we'll get phase 2 hopefully later this year. Phase 3, I'm not sure, but I'll keep you posted. Anyway, I said too realistic, all concerned factors, blah 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 blah. What I mean, nothing. I'm sorry, I just got to go through this. Need exchanges badly, agreed. And like I said, we'll get them. They're conservative. I said we have no serious competition. The tiny bit of distant second place competition that was already years behind is gone. People like Paul Barron shouted out Quid and Recur, and they're gone now. Currently, no serious competition, and there won't be any for years. You have a bunch of other NFT projects out there. I don't think any of them are profitable. I think Veve is the only one that's profitable right now. And they're not just profitable like, okay, we're keeping the lights on and we're making payroll and that's it. Like, no, like it's not like where they're Immutable X and they had to cut staff a little bit profitable. It's like, hey, we are currently the amount that we're making right now will be writ small by the amount of revenue that we'll be making in 6 to 8 months from now, along with the users, along with the content creators. I mean, again, right now the biggest content creator is me, and I'm just a guy with a dashie. In the next 6 to 8 months, I don't know when they go and release their ambassador program, but you're going to have everyone and their sister try to qualify for that because it's obviously going to come with some special perks. What are those special perks? I don't know. Maybe I'll ask David the next time he comes on. Okay. Been here for a long time. Confirmation, go ahead. Okay, here, what you believe. Moving on, let me deal with that. Block those people on X. Okay, fair is done. A bit delusional. Hero is DC, self-custody. Just because you aren't into it doesn't mean they aren't any competition. They're a pretty thriving crowd. Again, what other, is there any content creator that makes any, guys, I like Hero. I have Hero cards. I've constantly bought them. I was such big fans of them that they went and let me do a season 2 reveal at San Diego Comic-Con. I was at San Diego Comic-Con, said, Randy, we love you, great fan. Let's do a reveal for season 2. Did it right on live stream. I love them. I love their team. I love Colex. Some girl Brittany's on their team. They're great. How much revenue are they making? How much revenue are Candy? Candy literally just had to withdraw cash out. Like, cash out is no longer an option on Candy, at least for crypto. I don't know how long that's going to be out for. I remember talking about it with Lori Brenner like 2 days ago, and she's like, I didn't even know, because that's how few people are even paying attention to what's going on their platform. How many daily users they have, I don't know. And I feel like I'm crapping on other people's plays, and I don't mean to. I'm just trying to paint a picture of how far ahead Veve is and how many years ahead they are. And any competition that they have, again, is done. Even something like Animoca, again, when putting it as something like Recur or Quid, Recur, yeah, they've raised $50 million. They had a run rate that was way too big. Boom, done. Same thing with Quid. Animoca, I think, acquired Quid how many X amount of years ago? They're literally not paying their people. Like, I think Animoca raised, I don't know, like $750 million. And then they go and they put out a filing a few months ago saying that, hey, we have like 196 million here. We have a couple hundred million here. A lot of it's in the sand token that's so illiquid. The amount of people that are, and I don't know what this is, if it's because the CEOs of these companies just couldn't read the writing on the wall. They couldn't tell, okay, what the product is, and they just overlooked Veve, or Veve just wasn't raising capital at the time. So like, okay, we're gonna try to get in with Veve, but then they didn't. I don't know why you would buy Sand Token over Veve, considering all the licenses and all that. And again, the amount of users. Anyone coming in now that's buying Sand Token over Veve that doesn't have an account, oh my God, I don't even know. Again, if you are in the sandbox and you like it and you play the game and you have it to play the game, that's fine. People in the future are going to be buying OMI at all-time highs, not because of any form of investment, but just because, oh, it's $1 worth of OMI to do this. Okay, let me buy $5 worth of OMI. And they're going to have that on layer 2 over on the Veve web app, and they're going to do that. It's not for an investment. It's just for playing games. If you have a sandbox account and you're buying sand specifically for the metaverse, again, that's fine. If you're buying sand as an investment over OMI, that is one of the worst things I think you could do. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I would tell a friend. This is just what I would tell Dashie, the boss man that I had him liquidate 3 silver bars for OMI today. He's up over at 40+ million now. We'll have, again, all of the amount of money that's going into this token is it's going to be insane. And again, it's just from a couple of people. Not everything that I'm saying right now, as far as, hey, OMI is going to double and go to between 0.002 and 0.003. That's just from a small amount of people going and acquiring as much of the token as they can. And we have to figure out a plan to, okay, buy 10,000 here, buy 5,000 here, and just do that for like a week because we don't have exchanges in America. So yeah, that's just from that. Veve and Akomi can roll out something at any given time, and they could do that. And oh, I saw you hype. Yeah, always gotta hype up the chat. Always gotta hype up the chat. Live now, talking about it. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. All right. Keep this quiet for now. Thank you. I gotta tell my boy to keep that quiet there. Oh, on YouTube. Yeah, clipboard. Oh God. Um, if you want to join, I can get her an actual link. And Metamoto might actually come on right now. StreamYard, copy. If you want to join, I'll give her that. I hope that's the right StreamYard link. Oh shoot, that didn't go. I don't know what. Every now and then the StreamYard link doesn't like send, and I feel like I've done that for a couple of people, and they don't get it. And like, well, I sent it to you, and anyway, David had behind him a large DJ Octo. So I have a small DJ Octo. But yeah, David's got the large one. David has a 1 of 5. It's pretty heckin' large. That's what she said. Anyway, let's go over some of the rest of the news here. Actually, no, we'll talk about Meta. So Metamona had asked about Disney, and she's like, okay, why? And she asked it to both. It wasn't just David. It was to both Veve and Cryptoys. And she said Disney has originally, they had deals with on TVs, and then they said, you can play our movies, and then they had the home video stores, and then they had some things with Netflix and other streaming services, and then they eventually said, okay, we're going to make our own streaming platform. And Netflix now has no Disney. Netflix might have one of those Marvel things still left over. I don't think so though. I think that's all on. Disney Plus. They had to have a cooling off period with that as well. And she's like, and so she said, are you guys worried that eventually Veve or Disney might go the way that it did previously, and they go and they decide to take everything off of Cryptoys or take everything off of Veve? And then David, I would have answered this really differently, but David had said, well, we're not a Disney platform. Do we have Disney? Yes, but we have United States Postal Service. We have DC. We were just in Auxerre in France with some local people. They had the London Police. They have some really incredible artists. So he was making it saying like, even if this does happen, which yeah, I think in 10 years, Disney might do something like that after they get super comfortable with the metaverse and NFTs, and they learn how it works. Again, it's much easier to give your IP to other people, let them take the risk, where if it doesn't work out, oh, it wasn't me that failed. There was this third party company that had failed. If it doesn't work out, you don't get any of the blame. And then you get to learn what they did wrong, so you don't make that same mistakes. But if they go and they're successful, like Veve is, then you say, okay, what did they do right? How do we amplify that? How do we go and lean into the specialty, and lean into their edge? And Disney has like unlimited money, so it's like, how do we do that ourselves? Now that's if nobody goes and buys Disney. There's been a lot of really big rumors that Apple might buy Disney, and Bob Iger would love to be the last CEO. I don't know if that's. I mean, it's rumors circulates every couple of years. Whether that has any truth to it or not, I'm not sure. That would be wild. Anywho, I knew it was all up to me. All right, so AI. So David said he would be having artificial intelligence over, and he mentioned this on his Binance interview last year, and that was a really good question for whoever asked him on that Binance interview. But he had that last year, and he said we will be incorporating ChatGPT into him, and David just kind of doubled down on that, and he said, well, in phase 2 or phase 3 of the Veveverse, you'll be able to see that. Now, phase 2, as we know it, is the IP branded world. So most likely what he means with that is phase 2, unless he goes on and says, yes, you have the IP branded world, but we're not going to incorporate that into ChatGPT until phase 3, where phase 3 is really just supposed to be customizable avatars. Maybe they need a little bit more than that just for an entire phase. So maybe that's what David's hoping to do. Again, I'm not entirely sure, but we shall see. Moving on here. Yep. Action Comics. Yep. DC. Sons of Almon X. I don't know. Some crypto news. Nothing. The website just stopped. Access. I don't know what happened. Okay. Yep. Yeah. It was before stuff. Put a post about this. Was it physical work? All right, so somebody's saying like McFarlane has done physical work for NBA, historically Disney, NHL. So we're speculating. Digitals aren't out of the questions. NBA Top Shots I'm aware of, but we are definitely have to agree to disagree on this. Basically, if you're talking about sports NFTs, me and Lori were talking about it yesterday with Autograph.io and DraftKings, and I don't know if anyone's talking about that. I haven't seen anyone go and make any pieces of content on it. I haven't seen people talking about it on Twitter. But I do see people every now and then talking about Flow because they have NBA Top Shots, they have UFC Strike, and NFL All Day, and they also have Disney Pinnacle. So a lot of these people that are Veve fam, which a lot of the people that are on Hero, that are on Candy, McFarlane, all these people are Veve peeps in general, and we're kind of just letting them out. And obviously, as things get more and more exciting, like today's like Claw. Claw is a pretty cool person. You know, he gets played by that guy who played Schmeagol in the MCU, which is fine. His performance is good. I like him. Um, I don't think he's anybody's favorite character. I don't think anyone goes to the movie just to see him, although he's really good. But still, that today made $30,000. Um, Everything that they've been doing lately, again, has been selling out. And in case you're new here, you know, 112 people here, there is a big shift from what I saw a month ago. About 4 to 5 weeks ago, everyone, or 6 weeks ago, everyone was asking, "Hey, when do you think the bottom is? Should I buy now? Do you think things are going to go down more? I don't know if there's anything that should I sell this for this?" There's none of that now. Now it's like, Chavez, what do I buy? Like, what's the best ROI? Like it's not that they don't care where the bottom is, that they just they are sure that the bottom is past, which I'm pretty sure it's past as well. So it's not that they don't care that it might go down. They are of the mindset that the bottom is past. It's gone. It was months ago. Which again, I'm kind of that mindset as well. But that's just the new wave. And David going out and saying like every week is a bull market for Veve. Oh my God, that was just straight up baller. It's true. I mean, just the comic from the Claw, someone that barely any people care about, $30,000, and they do that multiple times a week. I mean, Blade made even more. Blade was cool. That's first appearance Blade. I don't know what they make 80,000 out of that. It's just savage. I don't really expect Stargate to do much, but the Marvel Mighties, if that sells out, that's $169,000. The last two Marvel Mighty sets, which didn't sell out, got like 114 and 120 something thousand dollars. But that's with secret rares that were, like one of 900. This secret rare is going to be one of 210, so this is most definitely going to sell out. And I know a lot of people kind of live in this fishbowl. I saw the same thing with Pokemon. Same thing with Pokemon. How do people afford PSA 10s? Oh, it's the millionaires coming in that are driving up the market of PSA 10s. Wasn't like this back in 2015. And it's like, yeah, I get it. There wasn't a lot of money in Pokemon cards in 2015. It took weeks to sell a first edition PSA 10 Charizard. But then 2016 happened, Pokemon Go, and you had Justin Bieber get in, and it pumped. And then you had a cooling off period. You had a buyer's market come in 2018 and 2019. I was buying everything up in those years. And then guess what happened? 2020, people start getting those $1,200 checks. Logan Paul kind of pumped it, and it boomed. And people are just like, oh man, I have an emotional attachment to this card being $50, and now it's $100, so I'm not going to spend it. I'm not going to spend the extra $50 to get that card that I really want because of the principle of the thing. Meanwhile, other people that are just coming in do not remember the vicissitudes of the past, and they're just like, okay, I don't care. I have a big boy job. I'll spend $500 to get multiple of these cards. When people say $20 is too much for a comic, yeah, for some people that is. I rather the price of $7 too. That's easier on my wallet. But again, that's a personal feeling that I feel, and I know that other bigger whales that have bank accounts in the 6 and 7 figures are like, buy, 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 buy. Remember what I did a couple weeks ago for the Year of the Dragon stamps? where I bought 28 Year of the Dragon stamps in hopes to get that secret rare, and people were like, "Yo, Chavez, you just spent $158. What the fudge?" Okay, there are rounding errors that are multiples of that. Like I have friends that they make rounding errors that are 10 times of what I spent on that. So when I say that I understand that $20 is a lot for some people, paycheck to paycheck. $20 is a lot. You much rather pay that $7. Understand. A lot of these people are going. What I did with the $6 drop, people are going to do with 20 and 100 and multiple $100 drop. Buy. You ever see those guys on YouTube that just go over and they stream themselves playing slot machines, and they are putting on the slot machine like $250 a pull? Not $2.50, $250 per pull, where every 4 pulls is $1,000. There are people like that that are on this app. I will say that again. There are people like that where if they lose a couple $1,000, $10,000, more where that came from. Can't take it with you. Like again, I'm getting a little vulgar here. I think that a lot of injuries that guys go in and incur are always committed right after the words "fuck it," and then they just go and do that dangerous thing. You have so many guys. Again, I'll reference this John Gotti movie with John Travolta, where John Travolta's like, "I lost $30,000 on this game." And it's like, "Did you lose 60?" His friend goes, "Did you lose 60,000 on the week prior?" Yeah. It's like, "Why do you keep betting on these things?" And John Travolta, as John Gotti, just goes, "Can't take it with you," and that's it. That's it. And I know not everyone's like John Gotti. Not everyone has like this buku money, the buku dollars or Oprah money, but a lot of people do. And if you're not going to buy it, other people are. So I know that it's a lot of times that's hard to hear. Where, like I said, we're in this fishbowl of this is a lot, this is too much. I don't really like that. I'm going to rustle some jimmies here. I'm going to quote Ben Shapiro: "Facts don't care about your feelings," and the fact is that if you're not going to collect it, someone else will. The amount of mints that we have here, some people might be like, "Oh, this is too much." They are super scarce. How do you value a company? Do you value a company on what it's doing right now? Sure, that's how you get the current value. But are you going to value the company long term thinking on what they're going to do in the future? What are their plans? And again, look at past performance. I know is not an indicator of future performance, but if you take a look at all of the incredible things that Veve has done to their app over in 2023, it was like, okay, large building phase. How do we go and deter? Like they said what they were going to do, they did most of what they were going to do. And what are the fun things that they're going to do? The fun things that we're going to do: OMI to NFT. We're going to get OMI to bronze ticket. We're going to get the bronze ticket to accessories, or MCV points to accessories, and more exchanges. They literally had an article 2 weeks ago saying we're going to give you more accessibility to the token, meaning exchanges, and we're going to give you more utility for the token. So again, people can go and believe what they want. That like, yeah, I've heard that before. Sure, I understand that. But over the past year, the amount of amazing bumps that they've avoided and the hills that they've climbed and the goals that they've accomplished, why would you ever value a company? Why would you think the valuation of a company in a bear market is going to be anything like it is going to be in the bull market? Again, crypto in general is an inaccurate weighing machine. If you look at The Intelligent Investor, I think it was Bill Graham, that book, where I've said this before, the price of something is what you pay. So the price of OMI is like 1/10 of 1 penny, but that value is what you get. Should the price of does the price of OMI equally reflect its value? No, it does not. Not at all. Again, it's not financial advice for anyone that's new here. This is just me saying that I'm able to pay 1/10 of I'm able to pay $1,000 for a million OMI. Well, what is the value of that? I mean, if you have Veve that's made $250 million the last 3 years, so figure about back of the napkin math, 80 million per year. I would have, oh God, this is going to be, Veve should be what? I don't know, $800 million, 900 million. I mean, Veve eventually will be a 10 billion, $100 billion company. But this token, again, crypto is a inaccurate weighing machine. What should it be worth? I don't know, 1 to 2 cents right now, maybe. What will it be worth? When we go on and we rebalance, and because crypto's an inaccurate weighing machine and we overcorrect, it's not going to get to where it should be of 5 cents. It should get to, I don't know, 8 to 10 cents. Again, that's my base case. It should not get to 20 or 30 cents, but it could get there because people FOMO. And again, people are going to be buying at those all-time highs just for the games that we get with gamification, just for the games that we get, whatever we have in the Veveverse. Again, David had said on this interview with Metamona that the Veve you see now is not going to be the Veve that you see in 5 or 6 years. Veve right now is really just a gift shop. You go to Disney at the end of a ride, you get a gift shop. You can buy pictures of what you just saw on that ride. They take a picture of you, or you buy collectibles, or you buy plushies, you buy whatever that pertains to that ride. Veve is just the gift shop. Veveverse and everything else is going to be a multiple of what Veve is. Anywho, I feel I've talked about 30 minutes so far, and I've gone over. Let's go over some of the rest of the news here from yesterday. All right, so Veve had grossed about $2.2 million in February. That is not including today and yesterday. That is just for the first 27 days. Obviously, there's a bit of a leap year today, so that's fine. But yeah, they have a really nice amount of, excuse me, they have a really nice amount of gems. It got to a point where we only had like 1.1 million per month, and it's like, okay, this is really getting dry here, really getting low. But again, that's in the bear market. And despite all that, because Veve's very smart with their money, I don't know, what do they have, 20 something million in the war chest? And again, they could raise 50, 100, a couple hundred million at any time if they wanted to. Not that they are, but again, they could if they wanted to. So that's really nice. They had 2.2 million in gem sales. They had 15,000 monthly active wallets, 83,000 minted collectibles, 180,000 transactions. The top selling collectible was the Lunar Year of the Dragon, the stamp from USPS. Top selling comic was Amazing Spider-Man number 37. Once upon a time, there was a robot. Okay, that's cool. And then we have Braden Fairbridge. Braden Fairbridge had said, throwback to the promo video we edited in 2021, the NFT craze with the launch of Veve official partnership with Disney and the first ever Disney NFTs. Anyone still hodling? And if you go over and you take a look at that, David, and this is on LinkedIn, David had gone and liked that. So shout out to David for being a good sport and liking. All right, hang on, I gotta message someone real quick because this is important. Oh God, where's the message? Okay, here we go. Let it go, video. It leaked. Hang on the keeping it for now. Okay, yep, okay. Now where was I? All right, so I did a video yesterday. We had it on the, and David was kind of surprised I found it, but it was like last week or a couple days ago. We had the Joseph Parker Golden Glove collectible that was literally on the login store, which is cool. But then I Googled it for fun. So I wonder if there's any article. And if you Google it, it's literally sponsored by Veve. It is a sponsored ad for Parker's Knockout Collectibles. Joseph Parker Collectibles join the exclusive community of collectors who are on the cusp of sport and technology. Unlock Joseph Parker's legacy with rare digital collectible. When is that going to be? I don't know. Not 100% sure. I'll keep y'all posted. I mean, we know what it's going to be. It's going to be March. Straight. He's fighting March 8th, but the collectible's not coming out till the 13th. So I really would have hoped we got the collectible beforehand, but this is the way that he's doing it. So it's the way of the world here. Juice bar. So didn't. Yep. Down. All right. Set up a wire. I don't know if they're paying for ads on Instagram either. I know they are, but okay. So the interactive Spectre from James Bond, that was, I don't think it did that well. It was a while ago, but the ad for it on Instagram got 101,000 likes. I don't know if you can see that really well, but it got 100. I don't know how that did that. So some bots, I don't know what they're paying for, but again, that is just heckin' wild. Past couple days. Okay, nope, that's not me. That's not me. Bunched up in. Yep. Veve Fox or at Rootless Girl said, "Hey Veve fam, you can now check out your collector rank on the collector score leaderboard. I've tried going on that a couple of times. It never loads for me. So if anyone can go on that and they can check that, and it works for you, let me know how it is. I just haven't been able to go and check. Maybe so many people were going at one time. It was overloaded servers, but again, it wouldn't go up for me. So let me know. One of the other things I wanted to go over today about OMI is if you go over to the order book on OKX, again, there's only about 4.5 billion OMI on all of OKX. But if you take a look at the order book, you have, I don't know if I can see it here. You have one order at 0004 for 7.75 billion with a B. That's Bravo. 7.75 billion OMI order at 0004. Now, obviously, we're not going to get to 0004. This person be having like, I don't know, like 2.5, almost $3 million of USDT ready to go to buy that. Again, obviously, that's not going to happen. As soon as that person recognizes that we're never going anywhere close down there again, especially after next week, again, my couple of whales can go in and get in a little bit more. Like today, we had a couple of whales go in and bite it up. And that could happen sporadically over the next couple of days. But again, really next week without any announcements, never see triple zeros. Likely again, unless some random accident or some random black swan event. Likely never going to see that. Even when BitForex went down, you had a couple people, and again, the only people that were selling were people that were panicking. You had a bunch of fudders and you had a bunch of liars that are going saying like, "Oh, it's over. Always going to quad zeros," and they got people to go and sell. And me and my friends bought that right up. People that react with emotion are not the same people that act with logic. They just almost never are. Anyway, outside of that 7.5 billion OMI buy order, which that person, once they realize that we're not going down there, will FOMO in at higher levels. You have a 47.8 million OMI buy order 0008. That may or may not get filled at some point, depending if over the weekend people just go, whatever. Or again, it could go up. That person like, this order's not filling. I guess I'll buy a 001. Whatever it is. We also have a lot of gem purchases every day. A lot of gem purchases. Chime in. There's questions. This was one of the silver bars that I had sold for my buddy. The 100-ounce bar. It was heckin' huge, heckin' heavy. Sold 300-ounce bars for him today, and I'll be doing that more and more as time goes on. Kinds of funds, tokens. Yep, filled. Veve goes and says, Stargate fans, official digital collectibles are coming to Veve to celebrate. We're giving away 2 full sets. To enter, 1, post an AR photo or video on X or Instagram feed of your Stargate collectible. 2, tag Veve official using hashtag Veve Stargate. It closes on March 9th. We get that, I think, tomorrow or Saturday. Yeah, I think we get that Saturday. Let me go in and do something here real quick. Interview. Yahoo. Okay, all right, we're good. Veve actually just made a post over on Instagram about the Marvel Mighties. Heyo, gotta love that. Oh my god, I can't wait. Can't wait on Sunday. A good $225. I think I'll throw into blind boxes, and the blind boxes are probably going to be, well, they're $15 each. So figure 15 times 15 is 225. I'll buy 15 blind boxes, and if I don't get that secret rare, I don't know what I'm going to do, because that's likely going to be a couple $100 easily. It's not a first appearance, thank God. Because if that was the first appearance, we'd be going hard, we'd be going crazy. But we already have T'Challa Black Panther, and we already have Shuri Black Panther. We don't have a T'Chaka Black Panther. He was Black Panther before T'Challa. I would really like to see that. And if we got that, that'd be cool. But again, you had a couple other people saying like, oh, we already have Iron Man, we already have Hulk, we already have all these things. Like, why do we need them? Again, this is like the 4th Iron Man that we're getting, like the 6th Hulk. But it's like, okay, well, you have them in premium 3D digital collectibles. You don't have them in mighty form. Like, there's a girl on on TikTok. I don't know her name, but she does like videos with herself saying like, "Oh, do you have that Snorlax plushie? Oh, you mean this little tiny Snorlax plushie? No, 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 the bigger one." And she has like 8 different plushies. One's a chibi size, one's like a Funko thing, one's a Squishmallow. There's a bunch of different types, and then she even has a Munchlax one, which is a baby version of Snorlax. Um, it's just different things. Yeah, having a Golden Moments Iron Man is great. Having a interactive like pew pew Iron Man, that's epic. That is badass. That's really cool. Um, Having Funko Iron Man, 5 different Funko Iron Mans, also cool. But you don't have them in a Marvel Mighty. What if the Marvel Mighties are gamified one day? Again, Marvel Mighties be why do we have to protect them? Got to get them all. I feel like Marvel Mighties are Veve's Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Why do we have to protect them? I don't know. Anyway, before I move on and get some of the questions here, I've gone on for 40 minutes. I apologize about that. There was just a lot to talk about today. History, let it go. Nope. I'm going to go to my videos. I'm going to go to my lives here, and I'm going to ask everyone if they can just go smash that like button. That's a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smash the super text button down below, super chats as well, blah, blah, blah. Access to other, okay, there we go. All right, let's get to the comments here. Vladimir Columbus saying, Randy, I want to grill David on these questions. Jeez, had me at the edge of my seat. I know David is not the best speaking or articulating his thoughts or vision. Oh, do you think he answered her questions well, or were they hard questions? Because, I mean, they were. I think the thing is with Metamona is that she is one. She had to do the interview to 2 different people. So you have 2 different fandoms there. Even though most of the Cryptoid peeps were former VV peeps in general, or are current VV peeps, they just branch out. That interviewing 2 people at once is hard. That balancing that gets, and she was supposed to have 3 people there. But also Metamona is really for people that follow her and like, okay, what's going on in Vivi? The people that follow her are most likely not following real Randy Chavez. And I've done what 1,300 videos on Vivi and OMI. Metamona's done, I assume, a couple, maybe including or not including David. So she's for like the every common man that are just like, okay, what is Vivi, and what news have I missed since the last time we interviewed David. So the questions that she asked probably could have been answered by a couple people on the team. They was just there, just kind of show his face, just to have that clout on there, just like, hey, I'm doing these interviews. David doesn't need to do any interviews if he doesn't want to. He likely did this just because he wanted to, and it was to be able to go and say like, okay, well, not everyone watches Randy, not everyone watches Jordan Riz or Crypto Rain or Doctor of Stuff or whoever. It's just to get good solid information out there. So yeah, they were good questions. They weren't bad questions. They were good. But it was for a specific audience, or a general audience, I should say. My audience is a little more niche. It's specifically for VV and OMI peeps, and then just greater crypto investing and market at large. But I would say the one thing the question that I brought up before about Disney and how are you worried that Disney's going to be going to go the way of streaming, and they license their stuff to NFT, and or not NFT, to Netflix, and they license their stuff to other places, and then they just brought it all back and said, no, screw you guys, are going on Disney Plus. And she asked, are you worried that they're going to do that with NFTs? And I would have answered that as in no, because even if they do, which again they likely will in 10 years, that's 10 years from now, we're going to have massive amounts of gains, massive amounts of users, massive amounts of whatever before then. And then, yeah, we'll at that time, sure, Disney could not do any new NFTs with us, not do. But again, it's just Disney. We have Disney is Disney, Fox is Fox, Marvel is Marvel, Lucasfilm with Star Wars. So it depends what part of Disney that she's talking about, and I assume she means all of Disney as an umbrella. But Marvel has that exclusive contract with Disney. Ain't nobody else getting those Marvel NFTs. Disney and Star Wars, sure. Yeah, you have a bunch of Disney stuff and Star Wars stuff other places. You don't see Marvel other places because Marvel has an exclusive contract. And I think that Disney and Star Wars and all these other projects are DC. They're kind of learning their lesson. They're kind of saying like, okay, I get it. It's good. Why be in one store when you can be in 4 stores? The more stores you're in, the better, right? There's a big. We don't run exactly parallel um to Web two to real life. It's we have a superstore. All of Web three is a mall, and it's one mall. It's not like Web three is like 18 different malls. All of Web three is one mall, and if you're on one place in that one mall, you're everywhere. It's not going to matter. Okay, well, I know I'm on Veve, but I can get more money if I'm on Cryptoids. I get more money if I'm on Pinnacle. I get more money if I'm somewhere else. Sure, but you're all in the mall of Web three, and Veve has that biggest mall out there for this type of thing, for the digital collectibles. So again, I think DC could actually come on as well. Uh, where do you want? Like, I think that's why DC signed. Well, I think that's why that helped Disney sign on in the first place. Because if you're athletics footwear, you want to be, or if you're Adidas, you want to be right next to Nike. You don't say, "Oh, Nike's got that, got this mall. I'm going to go somewhere else where Nike's not." No, you want to be there. Why? Because people are going to go there. That foot traffic is going to be there because of Nike. So you as Adidas want to be there right across the street from them. Like, oh, let me see what both of these places have. And if you're on Veve, for one thing, you might find something else that you like. Let's say you're on there because you like, I don't know. Let's say you're on there because you like Adventure Time because it's cool, and then okay, you have Find Powerpuff Girls, like other cartoon stuff, and then you're a little bit weird. You're a little bit of a nerd. You're a little crazy like me, and you like Kripken stuff. They have the New Jersey Devil. They have the Loch Ness Monster. What? I'm getting these. So that's why you want to be on Veve, because you want to be shoulder to shoulder with other big major companies, and other people wouldn't have found you unless it were for that, unless it were for them. So when David goes and says we're not a Disney company, we are Veve, I would say, like, I would have just said, listen, they can do what they want in 10 years. That's not going to affect what's going to happen to us in a few years. I mean, he did it the right way. Um, but I would have just said, like, listen, if they want, it's going to be in 10 years. And not to say that you shouldn't think about the future. What did Qui-Gon Jinn say to Obi-Wan? Control your anxieties, Obi-Wan. Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs. And I know Obi-Wan says, but Master Yoda said I should be mindful of the future. And then Qui-Gon says, be mindful of the living force, my very young apprentice. Like, be mindful of just the macro at large. Sure, it's always good to plan for the future. Be advised, David's planning for, they have content for the next 5 years. That's why when David said we're not going to be the same company we are now in 5 or 6 years, it's because they have that's their plan. Like, Disney didn't sign on like a 1-year contract. It's not like Disney was like a free agent. Yeah, I'll sign on for 1 year, see how it goes. You know, this is a multi-year deal, especially with Marvel. Like, I cannot wait until South by Southwest, see what they announce there. We're gonna find the interview. It's on YouTube. Meta Mona had a link to it on her Twitter, so you can go and find it there. What it says, Bitforex only supply, which is not quite, it's like 7.5, 7, but yeah, close to 8%. So it looks like could potentially be locked up for multiple years. Kind of interesting for this bull run. Yes, I have said this multiple times before. I think both on X and on here, that you have a big lockup. And it's not. I feel like it's the Dark Knight. Like, Gary Oldman's talking to Bruce Wayne. It's like, he's not the hero that we wanted, just the one that we need right now. It's not the burn or lockup that we wanted, but it's the one we're getting right now. And you're going to see a lot of interesting things this bull run. That's nobody understands the ramifications of that. The consequences, I think, are going to be really good for us only holders. Because again, that squeeze, oh my god, the squeeze is going to be epic. Gagozu TV says, was diehard Veve fan about 2 years ago. Stopped after multiple lies and postpones. Was it lies or was it just, hey, we plan to do that? We plan to do X, but because new regulations and new regulatory concerns come out, we have to pivot so that we don't run afoul of any laws. Likely that latter. Do you guys generally have trust in these people? Or at one point, I was a millionaire, and I will be again later this year. But it was again, what would you rather have them do? Would you rather have them go and say, "Here's our plan that we have right now," and yeah, we see these regulatory concerns coming in, and we're just going to ignore those regulatory concerns. We're going to go full steam ahead as originally planned, and then we're going to get caught up like XRP did. We're going to get caught up like, and could Veve fend off an attack that costs 100 million? Sure. Why would you want to do that? That is absolutely ridiculous. So again, instead of getting caught up in all that, they pivoted, made sure they stay real within the line of regulatory clarity, and then yeah, are you in a bear market for a little bit longer than you want to be? Sure. Do you have to think of new and creative ways to do different types of OMI burn? Yeah. But I'd much rather them do that as opposed to again trying to run afoul of any laws and then suddenly they're in a court case for 3 years. Yeah, that's yeah. Anyway, unless you're just in it for the quick pump and dump, where you just wanted to pump, I don't care what's going to happen to Veve in 2 years. I just want to sell my tokens. Okay, if you're of that mindset, at some point you're likely going to get burned in crypto because that's a very very dangerous notion to subscribe to. Aldera says, I want to ask some great questions. Seemed like David wasn't ready. Will from Cryptos liked it. Will was very excited about many things. I mean, I don't think she had any. I don't think she gave him the questions beforehand. And to be fair, I never give David the questions I have beforehand. And it's not like a respect thing. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm the David. In order to interview with me, you don't get any questions before. It's just that when I interview him, that there's no preparation. There's no, all right, Dave, we're going to hit this. We're going to hit X, Y, and Z. We're going to pivot to here, and we're going to come back to this. Like, there's no plan. There's no notes. It's just, hey, how's it going? And then we just talk. It's just conversation. I don't know how much of the questions that Meta had planned. I would have. She seems like she prepares for everything, so I imagine that she did have a certain amount of questions laid out, and then she took questions from the audience, which is really cool that she did that, kind of giving some of her interview away to the people from the audience, which is cool. I don't really do that unless you like super chat. If you like super chat a big amount, they're like, okay, David, we have a big super chat over here. But if it's just that, then everyone's just gonna be, $5 and $10 super chatting, and then that's the answers. And that'd be the whole interview. So I can't do that. But yeah, she actually had the you couldn't super chat on her. She had it turned off. So I think that's why, or else she would be bombarded with $2 and $5 super chat. When this, when that, can't get to all of those. But also be advised, David's working, I assume 90, 100-hour weeks. So yeah, go and you're not. It doesn't, because I've done that before. I could tell you, you're not ever prepared for anything when you're sleeping like 4 or 5 hours a night. Lucas says, smash that like button for the name himself, Big Daddy Randy. What's going on? Thank you so much. Mr. MC1 saying, hi, Randy and all. A lot happening in our space and becoming more and more exciting. Yes, it is. Again, there's a lot to be announced. Ooh, who this? New comment. Oh, hang on. It's a sorry, I had a big thing I had to answer. Anywho, yeah, all the price ranges I have on OMI are just from price action. It's just from money that's coming in. It has nothing to do with any announcements that they may or may not have. And again, the South by Southwest, whenever, like, I swear, like, you have Kramer and you have inverse Kramer. You have what Alex says, where he's trying to, play down a couple things, and then what really happens. So as soon as Alex said on that space last week, guys, you guys are making a big thing at a South by Southwest. As soon as we tried to downplay it, knew immediately that there's going to be a big announcement. What is it going to be? I don't know. Don't have zero liquidity and is on zero exchanges. And what we'll be buying right now is beyond me. Well, again, because you have the price of what you would pay, and then the value of what you really get. This is stupid. Like, why would you go and wait? And again, I'm literally telling you the price is going to like double next week. Why would you wait until there are multiple exchanges and there is multiple utility and the price is 4x from here to buy? And you just buy down here. And again, this is for consideration, not obligation, not financial advice. This is just questions. Like, you think Veve is not going to figure this out? Like, obviously it's already figured out. They already know what to do. They already have this plan. This is silly. Like, why would you go and say like, yeah, I'm going to wait for the sentiment to be at 100%. I'm going to wait till half a penny. I'm going to pay 5 times the price to get in. That's silly. Sophie King asks, before his trouble, when is next exchange? Why haven't there been more by now? So I kind of mentioned, well, I guess I'll mention it here too. There's a company called Republic. They have $1 billion in assets under management. This billion with a B as in Bravo. And they delayed launching their token because they didn't want to launch during a bear market. Same thing with Earth 2. They've had hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue as well. They've paid out, I don't know how many millions or tens of millions of dollars. And they have like the prettiest looking metaverse out there. Why did they delay their token? Why did they delay their white paper? Why did they delay the launch of the token? Because they didn't want to launch in a bear market. Now, is that exactly why Veve hasn't launched any exchanges the last year and a half, 2 years? I don't know. I don't work for the company, but just because of what other similar successful companies are doing, you could assume that great minds think alike, great super successful companies think alike, and like, oh, they're probably doing the same thing. But again, this is just my interpretation of the data. Sleeping, what's going on, fam? I love your hat. I wear it all the time. Mr. MC1 says the GOAT. Sleeping, he is the GOAT. We love him. Garza says, what up, fam? We love you. How many people are proud to be citizens with this beautiful... Sorry, I love Eminem. Fun under the sun, saying Veve is simply the best. Preach, girl, preach. No. I was like, nah, fam. I just Veve profitable has nothing to do with the token. Of course it does. Of course it does. How can you say that Veve being profitable has nothing to do with the token? Am I all right? Let's say I have 2 options here. Let's say I have the option to buy sand, right? And we do. We all have the option to buy sand. And what does Sandbox have? Like a couple hundred active users each month. Let's say 500. They don't, but let's say 500. Why would I buy a token for a project that has like no revenue, no users, no content creators, no dick? I'm sorry. But why would I go and buy that when I could buy the token that's going to power an app that's worth $1 billion, or a Veveverse, a metaverse that has the best IP in the world? That's not even a hard call, man. Project can survive and thrive without a token. Okay, I agree. There are many projects that can survive and thrive without a token. Veve potentially could have been one of them, but that's not the route they took. They took this route probably for a couple of reasons, but let's say this. Oh, hey, if I'm David, which again, David and Dan been thinking about NFTs and digital collectibles when nobody else was thinking about them. We could make a successful company and the token runs in parallel with it. We can get paid twice. We can get paid eventually for selling. Get paid for selling the token. That is not that hard to figure out. So now, and again, David and Dan are 2 of the biggest holders of the token. They have every incentive to make it be as valuable as possible. They have every incentive to make people want to burn their own supply. This is not even a hard call. Now that they have this, again, pump to the moon. That we are 5 years plus deep with the token, and we are still debating exchanges. Says it all. No, we're not. We're not debating exchanges. Exchanges are coming. Like exchanges, we're going to get multiple this year. Um, but again, so we're not debating it. Are we? Are we debating the timelines in which we get it, and are we debating which ones we should get and why? Sure. But we're not debating exchanges. Exchanges are coming, and we all know it's a good thing. Energy, give me the hi, Mr. MC. Are those nuts? Is that a squirrel? Those squirrel nuts? I don't know. I don't know what those are. Wade Angelo says Metamona did her job, and well, the questions were on point and timely. She should be congratulated for keeping David on his toes. Yeah, so let me read you a quick message on that I sent to Metamona. Oh, where is it? So, oh no. All right, yeah. 1 second here. A message sent was, "Great job, guys," in a group message, and then I also said privately, it was like, "Hey, glad today went smoothly. Let's set up a date for you to come on because I want to get her on." Bill Goddard saying, "I didn't care for Mona's questions. Felt like she was coming at David a bit hard when Cryptoid was like, we have the same partner." Well, so again, Cryptoids had said that they are kind of modeling their business model really after Veve. You know, they'll have a closed market system. When they open up their markets and they have a secondary market system, they will model it after Veve. And again, he's a big fan. He has Veve stuff. How many people were there in the audience for Cryptoys, and how many people were there for Veve? You know, I'll just leave it at that. You know, go and rewatch it and look at that live video chat, and then say, okay, Cryptoys. So I understand. Yeah, some of those questions were a little, yeah, well, a little rough, a little hard. But again, as a business owner, especially one that owns a billion-dollar business, it's good to have those questions. If I thought that if I thought the interview went badly, or if I thought David couldn't handle it, if I thought David couldn't handle hard questions, I wouldn't have invested in the project. Like again, before I invested, I watched every single interview that David and Dan did, and never did I see them go and answer a question not badly. Is Never did I see them shy away. It never gave me any ick. It never gave me any, oh, I don't want to invest with them now. The only there's like one or two times where we were talking, and again, when we talk, it's just conversation. It's never prepared. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But again, it was never bad. It's just interesting, and okay, well, I didn't get an answer to that, but obviously there's a reason for that. Um, Same partnerships. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. Again, her job is to get to the truth. Her job is to ask questions for the common man that doesn't really follow this really that closely. So I think it was good. Will David go back on? I don't know. That's up to him. Um, we'll see. Bitcoin BMW says thoughts on David's remarks about how they would have gone different route with the Comey. Yeah, so he said that uh, going around differently. You're not going to go and I'll go over what he said first. You have people that say we could take you here. It's like I don't know, guys going to like young pretty girls. I could make you a star, in their like shitty modeling agency, and nothing ever happens. You have really good talent that goes with shitty agencies, and those agencies just they get a little bit out of them. They get a little bit of money out of them, and that's it. They kind of waste the talent. I think what David was referencing when he says like we had people that said we could take you from here to there, and then nothing happens. I don't know if he was talking about maybe coders, probably GoChain. I mean, what definitely got to be GoChain, got to be referenced in there. Nobody knew what GoChain was. GoChain is a horrible, horrible thing. I don't think anyone uses it, and he did that really just because it was gasless, because like he knew the guy, and obviously it turned out to be a whole shit show. But yeah, eventually originally you just go on Immutable X to begin with. You wouldn't go on GoChain. If we were on Immutable X to begin with, we'd be at like multiple pennies at this point. I would have been a multi-millionaire back in 2021, 2022, because we wouldn't have had to transfer, we wouldn't have been delayed all that time. This is a long time coming here. White Angel says very telling. Those that they were and continued to scramble on the use case of the token apart from ICO. No, not at all. There's a lot so be advised. I'll bring this back to Return of the King, Lord of the Rings 3, where Lord Elrond goes to Aragorn and says, like, an army marches from, I don't know, Isengard to here. This, but in secret, Sauron moves a secret army from the north on boats. And it's like, okay, so we know what's coming with OMI to NFT and OMI to bronze ticket, and then eventually OMI to gem, and then OMI being accessible on the Web2 app. These things we all know, but David and Veve and Akomi are not going to show their entire hand. They're not going to go and say, like, here's everything that we're planning. Don't expect anything else other than this. I guarantee you they're planning on more. There's guarantee you multiple other things that they're working on that they have not announced yet, that they will not announce, because you want to under-promise and over-deliver. So yeah, that's likely what's gonna go down. Hold on, I gotta. Oh shoot! Oh, double shoot! Oh, hang on. Oh damn! Hang on, I'm sorry, guys. Oh my man. There was. Oh my God, all of them. Oh man. They had. I think. So sorry, something had to be. OMI at 000956, up 16% on the day. Yeah, I kind of went over that before, but we'll go over again. I always love talking about OMI. 94, yeah, 16% on the day. And again, on OKX, you have those buy orders that are like, oh my God, it's like holy whack, absolutely wild. Who dat? Why does Max keep finding people that look like me? I don't know how this happens. How do people keep finding others that look like me? Does he like look for them? This is like the second time. All right. Anyway, AB says, don't now go as rights to sell physical media now. Wait, what? Don't now go as rights to sell physical. If you could rephrase that, I would definitely answer. Sony does. Sony now third party for Disney. Oh, you mean like for Spider-Man? Yeah, they do it all the time. Miles Morales, video games, movies. Yeah, they do that. What's up, Mrs. J Kill? How's it going? How's J Kill XRP? Hope he's doing well. Sylvie King says this guy can talk forever about getting to the question or about anything he chooses. Well, I mean, I always answer the question, but yeah, I do tend to go off on tangents every now and then, and I lose track. It's the ADD. Matt Jesus, agree, Bill. Questions around why OMI went on a bit like a newbie. Why OMI? Why OMI? Oh, okay. The question. Okay, gotcha. For Metamora. Dr. Doom says OMI will be the Western version of Tencent's Qcoin. That is its best comparison. I mean, Tencent owns like everything though. I'm really curious to see what Veve will buy. They've got to. I hope Veve can buy like Animoca brands and then get a piece of everything that it owns. Oh my God, that would be absolutely wild. I mean, when you have not I don't know how much debt they have, but if you have assets that are greater than the amount of debt, then they could buy Animoca for probably really cheap, not really have to lose anything because the assets would be greater than the debt. Yeah, that could be really good if they did that. Yeah, I talked about that. There could be another. So David seemed to allude the fact that it might be labeled security if they were listed on U.S. exchange. What are your thoughts? Or did I mean, I'll listen to it again. I didn't really interpret it that way. I mean, Coinbase, you probably don't want to be on because they literally have a lawsuit with the SEC right now. So anyone that's saying, we need Coinbase, guys, literally in a lawsuit with the SEC right now. You probably don't want to use them. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Sleeping Comment says, I like the claw. Yeah, I like the claw too. Claw's pretty legit. Ooh, excuse me. Wallace King says, end of the quarter is looking fire. Oh, dude, at end of the first quarter, I don't know how they're going to top end of first quarter because we got South by Southwest. I mean, I guess in Q3 you always have Comic-Con, although that's actually Q4, so disregard. Q2 you have, wait, hold on. April, May, June. All right, so I guess in Q3 you have San Diego. I don't know, I always view that as Q2. I mean, Q4 you have Comic-Con, and then you have D-Con in Vegas. That's going to be amazing. And then the token's going to be like, I don't know, 1 to 2 cents in Q4. But yeah, this quarter is looking pretty good. Rodrigo Umana A says, why is everyone assuming that the Ethereum ETF will be approved? There's no reason for it not to be approved. There's no reason for it made sense why the Bitcoin ETFs were not going to be approved for X amount of time because Washington needed to fill their bags. And they did, and then it was approved. Now that everybody's bags are approved, kind of makes sense that Ethereum will be. The Bit4X, there's no official news. It looks like they're insolvent. It looks like the OMI on there will be locked up for 1 to 2 years, but technically without any info from the exchange themselves, there's really no official update. And that's what David had said as well, is that when they do go and update everyone, we will say what they told us on the appropriate platforms. But right now, there's nothing. Carl says, Randy, thoughts on Pokemon TCG Pocket? I think they'll let people sell cards, given that it's a digital card collecting app. Let's see here. On Pokemon Day, which was yesterday, 2 days ago, they said that they were going to get, you're going to get 2 packs every day to open and build your stuff, and that's for free. It doesn't seem like that's blockchain. It doesn't seem like, I think that's just Pokemon try to change with the times, which is fine. I think eventually for collectibles, if they're going to come to a collectible platform, it would be Veve, and it would be high-end collectibles. They could do cards in the fact that, okay, here's a first edition, and then here's an unlimited where you can build your decks and you could play. I don't see them really going and doing a. Yeah, you can't make them collectible and then have cards be assigned for gameplay unless you do it like that. You have to have a limited first edition print run, and then you have to have a card that goes unlimited so you can build your decks. Because like when let's say you're building a grass deck, you don't just get one Bulbasaur, one Venusaur, one Ivysaur. No, you need like 4 or 5 Bulbasaur. You need like 3 Ivysaur and 2 Venusaur. The same thing with Caterpie, Metapod, and Butterfree. You need a bunch of grass energies. Like energy cards are less than $1. Most Pokemon cards are like $1 or less than $1. Why? Because most of them are energy cards, and you need the energy cards. That's the ones that you need the most for your decks. But they're not like worth anything. We don't like the artwork. So yeah, I would say Pokemon TCG on the app on Pokemon, that'll be cool, but it's not that's fine. When they go at NFTs, digital collectibles, they'll either come to Veve or they'll do it themselves. They'll likely come to Veve. I would say like 60-40 chance, maybe 65 that they come to Veve because they're not going to want to do it themselves. They're not going to want to mess it up. They'll do Veve, in my opinion. Yeah. Selva King says, "Oh my God, read the comments." I mean, listen, I'll get to your comment. I'll get to every comment. I'll get to your comment quicker if you super chat, but unfortunately, you gotta sometimes you gotta wait. Or else just let him cook his birdie. What about birdie? How about says Randy, the people's representative. Keep up the good work. Sometimes tough love is needed. Yeah. Every now and then, I feel like I rustled some jimmies there. So again, I thought he was going to read the questions, not burn leaves. I do. I do. I read every single comment. Am I like a good 15 minutes behind? Sure. But that, I have to. I like to take care of the comments I don't like to just answer as quickly as possible just so I can get out of here. Live Metamona says, love this post conversation. Hello. I was just talking about you. All good things. All good things. What is that? Comment down below if you get that reference. Thank you, Randy, for your support. Of course. Live with Metamona. Wait, Angela's great work today, Metamona. Mm-hmm. Rose says, Veve, just the gas station. Metamona, thank you, Wade. So, yeah, read the damn. Selfie King is super salty over there that I, was talking first before answering the questions. Again, if you would have super chatted, I would have got you right away. Sweet Chow saying, so now that we don't have BitForex and the amount of places people can buy OMI is even less, what effects do you think that will have on the price of OMI moving forward? Moving forward, for Europeans, nothing really changes. You still have OKX, you still have Bitmart, you still have Ascendex, and you still have I'm forgetting what else is there right now. But for it really just changes for Americans because now we don't have BitForex. Now we just have Coinbase Wallet and we have Uniswap, which is what everyone has. Gate.io. That's what Europeans have as well. Moving forward, it's because there's less liquidity. You're going to see big pumps like you did today, and you're going to see a lot of big pumps next week. Curtis Cooper says, "Good evening." Veveverse link is working. Found myself on a collector score 96. Diamond hand collector. My man. Yo, what up, Crypto Rain? Yo, what up, fam? How's it going, Rain? My man. Minnie Burns. Crypto, I saw you did a interview with literally John Carteret, the guy that me and Jordan interviewed the other day. I haven't watched it yet. I was watching Metamona's. David was just on live at Metamona. So I watched that interview and then I just went live here, but I will watch that later. Minnie Burns says, is now a good time to buy OMI? Well, I don't give financial advice, but Minty Burns, if Dashy were to ask me, hey, Chavez, is now a good time? Like, Dashy, you got to sell everything you can. Sell the ducks on your head, sell your Swarovski diamond necklace, and you buy OMI with that. Buy as much as you can. You over leverage yourself, Dashy, to buy more OMI. And this way, you could buy a necklace worth 10 times that amount. But again, that's Dashy. I don't know your financial situation. I don't know. I'm not your financial advisor. So I can't tell you what to do. That's between you and your financial advisor and the Lord. Wait, Angela says the best question that was asked was regarding starting Veve over without the token. And they could. I mean, obviously they can't right now, but wind the clock back 2017, they could if they wanted to. But they wouldn't. If they had the knowledge they would do today, they would still do it with the token, but they would do it in a different way. They would do it with the token, but just differently. Dog Boy saying, hey, Randy, Vevevox collector score works on PC and Mac. Doesn't seem to work at phones. Damn. A score of 78 collectors based on wallet address. Very nice. Very nice. And the hero says BitForex token lock is bullish. People just don't understand. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100,000%. And why I agree with that is because now those people that had it on there are going to want to buy it back, creating buy pressure. And the people that were going to have it on there that were going to sell can no longer sell. Thus, you're going to have less selling pressure. This is going to squeeze like nobody's business. Take ARB, thank you for being a member. Saying 22 billion locked. 1 through 8. P. M. I speak an alien over there. Crypto King saying they want to be on the blockchain, which in turn it won't be an NFT. What is that in reference to? Saying it won't be on the blockchain, which in turn it won't be an NFT. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, so you gotta let me know. Oh, nice. I'm only like 28 minutes behind. And says the lockup is, yeah, dude, that lockup is wild. So picture this. That OMI will eventually be liquidated in 1 to 2 years, maybe longer. Who knows? So it's not like that OMI is being burned; it's being locked up. But let's go back. Let's go back to 2008. The Dark Knight is coming out, and it's not Batman Begins. We've already had the thing with Liam Neeson, but now we have the Dark Knight, and you have Harvey Dent as district attorney. What does he do? Where he's going and he's talking to Jim Gordon. He's saying like, hey, if we go and put all of these criminals from Yang or Zhao, whatever, and Falcone, whatever their names were, and we put all these criminals under one like jurisdiction, under one group, and we charge them all as an entity. Yeah, the top guys make bail or whatever, but a lot of these younger guys, these newer guys, they'll cut deals, that include jail time. Imagine what you could do with 6 months of clean streets. We're not getting 6 months of clean streets. We're getting like 1 to 2 years of OMI being locked up. Imagine what Veve and Akomi and the fam can do with 1 to 2 years lockup of 8% of the supply. I'm rounding it up. It's like 7.5, but imagine what we can do there. With all these people coming in, oh my God, it's going to be wild. Veve Pooski says, I need singing Randy at the beginning of the videos again. Even just do a random throwback every once in a while. I'm good. All right, so I don't know. I can't really sing. What do I even do? I used to do my Patreon member shout out. I don't have the list anymore. I saw my face and wow. And then I took a vow that we'll be together, just you and me. There's a contract that I was signing for some consulting agreement. So I'm not going to show that though. Doctor Strange, Randy Chavez Saturday. Yes, I'll be hanging with Doctor Strange. I don't know what we're doing yet. I'll keep y'all posted. Yee. Seems to be fixed now though. Laura Rodriguez of Miami Apes says, y'all remember when we used to buy ringtones? And Reverend Alex G requotes that saying, oh, I remember. Oh, it was good times. He's funny. He's a funny guy. Versus Cypher Collector Store, just go to @rootlessgirl over on Twitter. How many of you try the Veveverse? I have not. Many other people have. I just have not yet. Troy Perez, thank you for there being a member. Saying, Randy, are you hoping for new USA exchanges before selling? And if not, what is your exit strategy for selling your OMI if no new exchanges before end of bull run? If there are no new exchanges before the end of the bull run, I'm like out of this project. But that being said, I'm 100% confident that we will get new exchanges before the end of the bull run. Or are you saying USA exclusive exchanges? If there is, just swap on Coinbase Wallet or just OTC sell to someone. Because there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to, there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to OTC buy in. Like literally right now, I'm scrambling to try to find a seller of these tokens, OTC to get to my whales, and nobody is biting. It's like, you remember in, that was season 3, season 4 of Supernatural, maybe season 4, whenever Cass was introduced, whatever season it was, where Dean comes back from hell. Turns out a team of angels has rescued him. Spoilers, sorry. And then he goes like, Sam. And then Sam like pulls like a knife on him or an angel blade. And he's like, oh, Silver is like, what the fudge, Sam? And then he's like, you're not real. You're not real. He doesn't believe it's Dean. And then he's like, all right, Sam, what'd you do to get me out, huh? What'd you do? Did you just sell your soul? Did you make a deal with the Crossroad Dean? And then Sam goes and says, I tried, Dean. I tried every trick in the book, but nobody would deal. I feel like that's OMI right now, and trying to find any type of whale, anyone that's going to sell any significant amount of OMI to my whales. I'm trying Crossroad Demons. I'm trying every trick in the book to get someone to sell. Nobody is dealing. As soon as I want to sell some OMI, I know exactly who to sell it to. And that would be an OTC deal. Again, I could just do a Coinbase wallet. Most likely we'll have big, massive exchanges by the end of the bull run. But again, Coinbase wallet, do that. I suppose, hi, Curtis Cooper. You coming out to South by Southwest? Where's Curtis Cooper? Was he here? Was he? I didn't see. Oh, yeah. Hey, Curtis Cooper. Are you coming out South by Southwest? Chago Soul says, good evening, fam. Good evening. Fedorite says, actuary, what you're saying is, why buy when it is cheap? I'm going to wait till it's high and hope it goes higher. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, right? Exactly what I said. The exact opposite of what we do. Agreed. Okay, so Earth 2 and Veve are going to rip this. Oh, dude, I can't wait. I got 40,000 Essence tokens on Earth 2 ready to go. Can't wait. Bill Gar says, what up, Rain? Bioshock says, hey. Mo Collection says, yo, yo, yo. Who was that video game where you had a guy with an orange stick and he goes, hey, hey, hey. I don't remember the name of that video game. It was an arcade game 20 years ago. Sweet chow. As what is the current burn situation at the moment? There is none. There's none from the circulating supply. How much has been burned and how much is left? Well, in the circulating supply, there's 310 billion. $5.5 billion we know that Akomi will burn out of the business development wallet when the OMI to Gem is live, and other stuff people will start burning in April. Buybacks are currently off the table, but after that SEC lawsuit with Coinbase, it might be on the table again after that. So yes, it is right now. It might be back on the table in the next year or so. And just continue to burn OMI down to zero. How does that work? Well, we can. Well, that would never happen because it's always a certain amount of OMI. But OMI at some point in the next 10 years will be over $1. Next 7 years will probably be over $1, in my opinion. Oh God, OMI on a U.S. exchange, we'll go wild for that. The recording of this, yes. Go to Metamona's Twitter page, and she has it there. Definitely about Gdanzi, maybe. Sleeping Cow said, Lord of the Rings references are the best. I want to thank you, Sleeping. It's nice to be appreciated. Sketch Lab. Oh, hey, Bren. No wonder David's hair looks so good all the time. He probably never lays down. That could be true. That could definitely be true. Goldie says, thoughts on the new Pokemon card game? Can Pokemon still drop on Veve? The Pokemon card, the TCG, I haven't played in a long time. I was a master at the old game. Like, I could give me the right cards, give me the right deck, I could beat most people. Now there's different strategies. For me, I like regenerative abilities. So I had two really big things. Even Venusaur's okay because Solar Beam does good, but I like Bulbasaur because you had Leech Seed, really good for stage 1 Pokemon. Ivysaur's good, had that, and Venusaur's good for Solar Beam, but Nidoking and Butterfree are like Butterfree. You just regenerate every single turn. As long as you can evolve Caterpie to Metapod to Butterfree, you just go in and you regenerate every single turn because you have Mega Drain. But Nidoking, oh my God, you got Toxic on there. Toxic does 40 damage each turn. Like, oh my God, that is heckin' wild. You don't want none of Toxic. It does 40 damage one turn, and then you do not want that with Toxic. Sleeping Comic says 10 cents does own everything. They do. They own like 5% of Tesla, which is wild. But yeah, Pokemon can still drop on Veve. I would say 60, maybe 65% that they do drop on Veve, 35% that they don't. But with each passing day, the greater the odds of them going on Veve, in my opinion. And dude, if we hit 1 cent this year, I'll cry tears of joy. You will cry tears of wow this year then, Walrus King. I guarantee it. Adroid1776 says, Unifriends can pump OMI to 003 next week, and it means nothing because you can't sell any meaningful amounts without dumping the price. There is no liquidity. Why would you want to sell at 003? Actually, you're not getting the point. We're not buying at 001 so we could sell at 003. We'll be buying at 001. We'll be buying at 002 when it doubles. And we'll be buying when it doubles and triples again because we're not in it for a little single. We're not in it so we can just make a little bit of money. We're in it so we can make millions upon millions and possibly tens of millions of dollars. We're not doing it for a quick couple $100,000. We're doing it for tens of millions of dollars. Going and trying to flip is fine. People can do it consistently, not usually, but people do it and some are successful. In general, the better returns are with people that buy and hold. We're not doing it to pump it so we can dump it. We're doing it so we can go and accumulate as much as possible at these undervalued prices so that we can, where it's really illiquid, where we could eventually sell when it is properly valued or even overvalued when it's super liquid. So again, the pump and dump, the flip, that's not our game. Our game is the buy and hold when it's undervalued and illiquid and sell when it's overvalued and super liquid. Free agent lifestyle. So that was the Go Chain. Okay, yep. Actually, saying I had 70 million OMI last year, and I'm glad I sold months ago. I'll trade the token once the team can demonstrate they know how to list on exchanges, or wasting a second bull run, our hopes and promises. I mean, if you really thought that the team was just like completely incompetent, you would have sold all of your OMI and you wouldn't be here right now. Clearly, you know that there's a ton of potential and the team is extraordinary. And I don't know why my face keeps doing that. But yeah, again, if you want to leave, you can. But clearly, you're here for some reason, and that reason is likely because you know the competency of the team, you know that the token's incredibly undervalued, and you know what's coming. Or even if you don't know what's coming, I've efficiently explained a good amount of what's coming in this stream. Mini Burns says, "Okay, I'm buying now. You get that bread." Again, not financial advice. You do what you need. Raul, what's going on? Saying they literally said Pocket will be a digital collecting card app, which is great and great doorway into digital NFT Pokemon collecting. Dope, but hope they don't go the Marvel Snap route. I'm not sure which way they go. I haven't really looked too much into it, but we shall see. Cleveland says, actuary. Are you an actuary? Raul says, claim to be a collecting app, but we can't own or sell the cards, etc. Complete cash grab and cheesy game that'll kill the hype around Pokemon NFTs, in my opinion. Just watered down Marvel Snap app. I mean, I don't think Pokemon really does anything, or Nintendo at large does anything just for a cash grab. They do things that people are going to. Nintendo's an incredible company, and they will do things that people will enjoy. Again, Nintendo, incredible company. They're not going to do things just because it's a cash grab. I think long term. There's everything in life can be explained using either Lord of the Rings or Dark Knight trilogies, or Dark Knight references. Yeah, it can be. Totally can be. Bring back the fridge list. Oh, the fridge list. I don't have a fridge. I mean, I have a fridge. It's not mine though. It's my friend's. I live in their house. Carl says, wonder on the possibility of any non-NFT digital products being in the Veveverse. Thoughts? Yeah, we're gonna be able to bring stuff into Veveverse. That's fine. And Pokemon, Pokemon NFTs in the Veveverse. Yeah, it's possible as well. That I guarantee you that happens if Pokemon releases digital collectibles that are not on Veve. They'll be brought into Veve. So apparently Bitforex was shut down for not having a license to sell to Americans. Well, that's one of the things they needed to apply for a license, and they didn't apply for a license. And if they didn't shut down by themselves, they were going to be forced to shut down unless they applied for the license. They could have, they didn't, likely because of insolvency issues. But again, we have had no official word from Bitforex. BitGet has the same issue. Just wait for more OMI to get rugged on BitGet. Well, I don't think Americans can use BitGet anyway, so it's on them. Because I have to disagree. A large part of token supply is in limbo, waiting to be mass dumped in the future, not a bullish lockup situation. What is happening with Bitforex, if it goes the same way as FTX, it is not going to go and be dumped in the next couple of months. It is likely going to be held up and be on there for several months, if not years. I would say 1 to 2 years, but again, it's my opinion. MTG Gox was Black Cloud over Bitcoin for years. Sure, but again, I think this is more of a FTX situation where we kind of know what's going to happen because it's been done before. But again, just my opinion. Thanks, Randy. Well, it's been confirmed they will not drop NFTs. No, that is a lie. They have not confirmed that at all. Whoever you heard that from is a lie. Do not spread that lie. Speech House says, what effects do you think OMI to NFT will have on the price? I don't know. I would say it gives it utility. And if people don't have, and there'll likely be incentives to use OMI on the app instead of gems. So when they go and they have eventually hang on 1 second. When they go and eventually have a way to buy OMI on the app, you'll likely be incentivized to go and do it that way. Will it put selling pressure on OMI? Back end for exchange? No. Does that also mean NFT to OMI is available? I don't know if that'll be available at the same time. It will be eventually, but I don't know if it'll be right at the same time. We'll have to see. TCG Online has been replaced with Pokemon TCG Live, which is now mobile and desktop. but it crashes like crazy. Pocket app will be fire and hopefully burn bigger flames for Pokemon NFTs. Yeah, I hope people get interested in it. I'm sure they will eventually. It's Pokemon. I assume investors have way too many tokens. They have unlimited amounts of OMI when compared. All right, so Uchiha Crow. We say unlimited amounts. Like we know how much they have, and what is like way too many tokens. Like unless you can like justify an argument. And again, what tokens have David and Dan sold? None. So, and there's somebody else that has 30 billion as well as they do, and they haven't sold. So again, when we say unlimited amounts, we know the amounts of what they have. Yeah. Who's saying why does Veve even list on an exchange? List on exchanges illegally selling to America. Well, I mean, it's not like they were choosing like, oh, let's do the most criminal activity. They chose BitForex because BitForex was I mean, it was still one of the biggest ones that you could use with a lot of volume. And they're not saying like, hey, list to America for us. They're saying like, oh, hey, you have a big, Asian exchange, and a lot of Asians buy on there, and a lot of Europeans do, and whatever. It's BitForex's choice to go and sell to Americans. It ain't Veve's. Veve's not telling them to go and do that. Never thought the word scam and Veve should ever be used in the same sentence until now. Again, I don't think this was a scam by BitForex. I think they tried to go and run a business, but they couldn't apply for this license because they couldn't afford it. I think it was just an insolvency issue. Really nothing to do with Veve. Asuk now says, "Hey Randy, what's going on, Asuk? Ma heckin' man, how's it going, brother? We've got a couple of good things coming up. A couple of good things. So says, if they have artists working on exclusive cards for Pocket, I don't believe in pulling NFT soon. At some point, I mean, I don't know when, but at some point. They're literally now in the digital collecting realms with Pocket. Let's go. Look at the distribution using Etherscan. There's completely unfair token distribution. Well, how is it unfair? I mean, there's somebody that has tens of billions of OMI, and he bought them fair and square. It's not unfair that somebody has more money than you. Like, it's not unfair that somebody has millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars and uses some of that capital to buy as much as they want. It's free out there. Anyone can do that if they have enough money. It's like somebody saying like, yo, Randy Chavez, you have too much alligator Lokis. It's not fair. Well, they're out there for everyone to buy. I'm just using my capital to go and allocate it to what I like. And if it happens to be something that you think is unfair, that's life. I want one of 50 Aston Martin. I want a Tesla Roadster. And it's not fair that only rich people have Tesla Roadsters. No, like that's silly. If you can afford to get it, then you can go and you can get it. If you could afford, or if you're smart enough to buy a lot when it's super cheap, then you deserve the gains. So I don't think it's unfair. I think it's just people have access to a lot more capital than the rest of us. They could afford to buy billions of them. I cannot afford to buy billions of them. I could only afford to buy 1 to 200 million, maybe a little bit more, in next month. It says, do you think it's possible BitForex gets a license soon and goes back online? I don't think so, but again, I'm not the exchange. Maybe they could turn it around. Maybe they get funding from somewhere else and they go and they say, okay, all right, yeah, yeah. They get bailed out and then it goes back. Who knows? You can look at the Veve wallets. The top wallets in either scanner out of circulation. Raul says, it is Pokemon, but they have irrelevant in the digital realm besides the games. The TCG Online app has died and replaced with a crappier app. I would say immediate hype for Pokemon Digital. Again, it's digital is the way of the future. People will catch on eventually. Like the world doesn't need to ask permission to become what it's becoming. People will go and they will learn, and they will adapt. And eventually Pokemon will get it right. They'll get the app right. They'll get the tech right. Because again, a lot of money. Here it says, except one is business dev and exchange wallets, spam amount. What's unfair is they were able to buy before everyone else. The price of OMI is still up over 28,000%. The price of OMI is not up 28,000%. Was there a time when it was quad 018? Yeah, sure. But it's not 28,000% up from there, I don't think. And again, Anyone could have gone on in Telegram when it was quad 018. You could go on in Telegram and you could find a way to buy tokens. Anyone could have done that. It's just that most people weren't looking for projects. Most people weren't looking for tokens on GoChain. I happen to be one of them that searched in 2021, and I happen to find OMI. And though the OMI price is low, these people are an inside profit and sell pressure won't stop. Again, are there some people that have tokens that are selling at these prices because they got a quad zero? Sure, that's their right because they took that risk and they got those tokens from them at that time. But that's not unfair. That's just a situation that you don't like. That's just a situation that's not favorable to you right now because you want the price to pump. Me, I want the price to go down, but in a couple weeks when I get a big payday, I can go on and buy. But so if it goes up, it's not fair to me, even though I already have 183 million OMI. Yeah, that's just me. Bro, send the wallet you're talking about was not a fair launch. Again, you could have got in on pre-sale. Like Crypto Rain had a pre-sale on the OMI token. Why? Because he looked for projects like this and he bought some. It's not that it's not fair. It's just that it's a situation that is unfavorable to people that wanted to get in at those prices, but they didn't. I'll check it for you. This is right while just here. Talking about Vault and Reserve, all out of circulation. They show an Ether scan. Meow, meow, meow. I'm gonna make some toast with butter. Yeah. Oh, we got Miss Gecko. I'm gonna say meow, 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 meow. Angel of Aris is my first dip into OMI. Should get bigger over time, or so I would hope. Oh yeah, get that bread. 500,000. Get that bread. My man spent like $500 hairs over here getting that. Get that. I'm good and I'm feeling alright. I'ma have the best tech. All right, yeah, I'm gonna get all right, guys. I've been going on here for quite a while. Thank you all for the company that I've been acquiring here over the last hour and a half, hour 41 minutes. Thank you all for the likes. Smash that like button. Commenting, like, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways, Patreon. Smash the super thanks button down below. Super chat as well. Everyone say goodbye to Dashi. Goodbye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye.